Episode 3, we're going down to the docks. Wagner. A familiar Varl steps onto the docks. In your mind, you recall a much younger version tramping the halls of Grofheim, abundant in purpose. Gods, Ubin, you're looking ancient. Comes with being old, and if there's Wagner, there must be Hakan. Must there? Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid old yaks. At what age do you lose a sense of shame? Jorundr demands it. I'll take that over lingering to death in Grofheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. Just returning from Arberang, in fact. And glad for it. Hakan motions to the other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering. Golden wolf head emblazoned on red. The king of men, or someone on his behalf. The king's whelp. The king's son, Ludin. Don't you know, Scrivener? We visit his capital, he visits ours. It's how you make alliances these days. It's a miserable waste of time. Yes, Hakan has had it. I'd almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Hakan. Then you're going to Grofheim? I have the distinct feeling I finished my business in Strand and was heading there myself. We should caravan. We should. Give it a day. In better circumstances, I'd drink a week away, but let's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Where is Moger? Hakan, have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants depart in his wake. You recognize a few, others are strangers to you. Guess I'm off to find Moger. See you in the morning, Scrivener. I'll be along. The young prince of men ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. Ludin looks for all the world the sort of boy who grew up pulling the legs from spiders. The long road back to Grofheim shouldn't be more interesting than most years, you think. Wariness suddenly settles in, and you chuckle to yourself about what an odd day it has been. One of the governor's men at the Great Hall could find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, if you're going to join Wagner's caravan tomorrow, it might not hurt to share a drink with Hakan, or introduce yourself to the prince they spoke so highly of. So we have some options. We can go talk to Hakan, or the prince, or go to the Great Hall. Let's talk to Hakan. Scrivener! You find Hakan in a meat house, surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Hakan waves you over. Went straight for a flagon. Wagner's the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to the governor's hall anyway. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me trouble. No surprise. What this time? When I got here, the hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Ha! Humans. I guess if only I lived as long as a Yoxfart, I might be desperate to make something of myself, too. It's not too late to start trying, Hakan. Hakan let slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deeds, known as he is for cutting a swath through Dredge at Wagner's side in the Second War, and regularly since then. Down here I'm a glorified bodyguard. You might have a point. Just another reason to get back to Grofheim. Soon enough, I imagine. You drink until the meat house becomes overbearing, and step back into the cool air outside. Let's go talk to Ludin. Is this the right place? You find the prince at an inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed Varl who must be working for Ludin. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Prince Ludin. Yes, you're with Wagner. I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Wagner a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grofheim, with my guards. Ludin looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? I work for the king, carrying ties to the capital. We crossed by chance. Oh, a tax collector. Fine company. What do you want? I have a habit of recording history. I thought we might talk about your visit. A Varl historian? Aha, don't you already know? Your king and mine both have been practically trumpeting it throughout the cities. I've been on the road a while, I'm afraid. Ludin takes a deep sigh. Whether tired or ungracious, you aren't certain. Maybe both. A formality, mostly. Wagner came to our capital in Arberang, and now we go to the Varl's capital in Grafheim to cement this grand alliance for the next age of men in Varl. You sound unconvinced. There's no need for it, and it's damned cold up here. You get the sense he's struggling not to complain outright. You take the opportunity to excuse yourself. And on to the Great Hall. We lost the supply because we spent the night. At dawn, you're awoken by a delivery of goods. At least you think it's dawn. Damn hard to tell with a sun that never moves. The governor's crest adorns the supply leathers. All there, just as promised, to your mild surprise. You wonder if Eirik had anything to do with that. 20 renown. Your guards take the treasure wagon down to the gates. Wagner is already here. A while later, Ludin and his men appear, groggy and disheveled. Moger steps forward. Wagner's quartermaster, if you recall correctly, in charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks if you're ready to depart. We are ready. You follow Moger and join the others. Usually the smaller doors set into the gates would be enough to enter or leave the city, but the town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under their breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but there's nothing of the sort, just frustrated, tired people. Summarizes Strand well as a whole, you think. And here we go. Our caravan is off and moving. This is what the strategic level of the game looks like. Moving horizontally as time passes in the top of the screen. Eating through your supplies. And your morale. Because walking long distances does not make people happy. The caravan stops for the day. A gift, says Moger, cracking open mead casks. From our gracious friend, the governor of Strand. Hours pass with raucous laughter as the mead is passed throughout the cap. Let's drink a little. You go easy. You've nothing against a good drink, but if anyone's going to keep an eye on things, it may as well be you. The revelers eventually fall asleep without incident. Morale improved. You rise groggily, the campsite a casualty of merriment. Moger's already kicking warriors awake. When you spot Ludin stalking your direction, he sidesteps sleeping bodies. Better wake up, you nudge Wagner. You're needed. Ah, it's Ludin. Always a pleasure. You look well rested. Wagner releases a caged yawn and receives a hard-eyed stare in return. How long to Grofheim? Ha! We're only 2 days out of Strand, you know. Come on, I'll show you on a map. This is the map of the world. You can explore it by dragging the mouse to pan and use the mouse wheel to zoom. The location of your caravan is indicated here by Ubin's icon. The world map is covered with many locations and holds much lore. You can explore the map anytime and click on locations for more information. The Red River. Some historians have speculated that the Red River was simply a counterpart to the Blue River, named by unimaginative explorers. Anyone who fought in the First Great War could tell you that it's where Varl and mankind came to an impasse. Neither side able to get a foothold. The river so full of corpses it ran red. When you are finished researching the world map, click this button to return to travel or to camp. We head north, then east past the forts. Grofheim's far from Strand, going to be a long march. You should have drank last night, Ludin. Why not take the ships to Skirmishstead? What's the point of marching? The Silverstone Bay is called that for a reason. It stays covered in ice all year. It would tear up the longships. Too bad, though. We could have shown you all the wonders of Skirmerstead. A half-drunken city crawling with dredge, Prince. Dredge and glaciers. You like glaciers? Ludin exhales through the nose, a poor disguise for his contempt. He turns and bats aside the tent flaps as he goes, barking at his company in the distance. Don't poke the anthill, Wagner. He seems no happier to be here than you. Spend a few more days with the boy, old friend. You'll be looking for a tall cliff to hop off to. Ludin's got a shorter wick than Hakan. Thanks, Wagner. Let's get moving. Another half day to Verdfell and Vetterfell, and we're lucky. If we're lucky. Camp is where you manage your caravan. During travel, you can enter the camp at any time by tapping the camp button on the travel HUD. While at camp or in town, you can upgrade your allies or equip items in the hero's tent. You can pass time by using the rest tent. Resting will improve the caravan's morale. A high morale will reduce casualties in war and affect your willpower in combat. Each passing day will use supplies, so only rest when necessary. The training tent will allow you to safely try out any characters in a mock battle. Tap leave at the bottom of the campsite when you're ready to get back out onto the road. Oh boy, let's look at our heroes. Injuries. One or more of your units is injured. Injured units can still fight, but have a penalty to max strength equal to the number of days wounded. They heal as time passes when resting at camp. So because I'm an idiot, my Gunnulf is wounded. Click on a unit to view stats, promote ranks, and learn about abilities. Mogar. Click on the ability button to learn about the unit's abilities. Bring the Pain. The character strikes an adjacent enemy for armor break damage before hunkering down and boosting his passive ability. Return the favor to return even more break damage for one turn. By using Bring the Pain, he can create a forward charge that punishes enemies for ganging up against him. So basically, it's what he does. He hits back every time he gets hit. And he runs up and taps somebody and boosts his counterattack ability. Okay. Going on with Tempest, we've already talked about that. He also has heavy impact. The character hits so hard that any enemy standing adjacent to his target on a strength attack take 1 strength damage from the shockwave. So he can hit. So adjacent enemies take splash damage when he hits because he's so strong. Ludin is a Spearmaster. He has Impale. The character skewers his enemy, doing normal strength damage before kicking them away, doing knockback damage, and causing them to bleed if they move on their next turn. The target who is bleeding will take 1 strength damage for each tile that they move, which can be especially deadly for enemies who are moved against their will. So that's not bad. Embolden. Each kill the character encourages allies to fight harder, granting 1 power to the unit and any adjacent enemies. And then Hakan, or War Master. The character hits even harder than an average warrior with no chance to miss. He can wreak havoc with an additional +1 strength and also adds 1 break damage to the target, plus bonuses to heavy impact. Sundering impact is best used when carefully positioned to impact as many enemies around the target as possible in a single strike. So this is also splash damage melee attack, I think. And breaks armor when he's doing heavy impact. So basically, because he has an axe, he does some armor damage. So none of my guys, they're all level 1, so I can't boost them, and I don't have any items to give them. I think we're done. Hopefully we don't get into a fight.
Vetterfell. Even the name means bad weather, where frozen wind sweeps in from the bay. They tend livestock, but most are just men driven from Strand with nowhere else to go. Why else would anyone stay? We won't stop long.
By Hardeborg, that's a lot of Varl for some missing cattle. What? A couple days back, sent word to Strand about the cattle. Didn't expect an army. He looks pleased with himself until it sinks in that you aren't here on his behalf. Where have your cattle gone? Wouldn't know. My boy's seen men up the hill carrying them away. Don't know many men who can hoist a whole cow by himself. Scaffoldings out here, maybe? Could they have Varl working for them? Not from what the governor told me. I'm going to take a look around and get camp set up. The peasant spits, his eyes anxiously darting about as the caravan sets up tents. We'll be here for no more than a day. There's silver for any food you've got. For hundreds of Varl? Are you serious? Whatever you're willing to sell. You thinking of squatting? Not enough room for a couple hunters here. Forget hundreds of... Shut up. Hear that? Where's Luden? It's faint. Sounds like fighting and something else. Hakan takes off at a run. What the fuck is that? Clicking any tile will automatically make a path, but you can also set waypoints. Click once to make a waypoint. Now click the next waypoint. This is often useful when you need to avoid certain tiles. Now confirm the move. Who the fuck are these guys? Spearmen can attack diagonally and up to 2 tiles away. Click the top right banner to compare your stats with the enemy's. Now click the enemy to target. Turn on the banner so you can see their stats. Armor blocks attacks on strength. For each enemy armor higher than your strength, there's a 10% chance the attack will be deflected. Notice the chance that shows above the attack button. Now attacks this enemy's strength. This doesn't seem right. Deflected. Deflected attacks do no damage. From here on out, you will fail catastrophically if you don't break armor. Damaging both strength and armor is equally important. Oh shit. Well, that guy's gone. Who the fuck are these guys? I know who they are. It's the Dredge. Now what does this do? I don't think I want to do this yet. Right, it's like a sweeping attack, so let's just do a regular attack. And let's armor break this fucker. Whack. Here they come! Oh, his exertion's down because he's wounded, I guess. Fuck me, it's unpleasant. Move up here and try to block for that guy from getting attacked. Oh god, they're gonna kill him. Not yet. Jesus Christ. Break his armor. Run away. Fucker. Nice, so that there's a chain reaction for the armor break. Fuck me, he's just gonna be dead. Alright, we've knocked down his armor a whole lot, so let's hit him for strength. Whenever an enemy falls in battle, 1 willpower star is added to your horn. Using the horn will give 1 willpower to the active ally. Alright, let's bring the pain. Gonna have to restart this. I am no good. Gotta wear these guys down before they get through my armor. Leveled up. Good job, Moger. That was horrible. Promotion. Karnolf is injured. Hakan is injured. Hooray. You trying to get yourself killed, Ludin? What are you doing? I was trying to get a shot in between the plates. You never seen a dredge before, boy? What kind of idiot? Break their armor first. Where did they come from? We didn't even see them. They were just there. Khan goes down to where Wagner lies face down. The future Varl king lies motionless, aside from a spreading pool of blood. Wagner's dead. Chapter 2. Cut with keen-edged sword. So the story shifts. And we start on another part of the world, and we see what's happening here. Holy fuck, it's some dredge.